The officials for tonight's game here at Redbird Arena, which is now underway. The opening tap is out of bounds. It's going to go to Bradley. The Braves in their road red uniforms with white trim, and Illinois State the opposite. White home uniforms with red trim.
So right away, Josiah Strong gets the Terry Roberts assignment. We talked in the open about how well he has been playing. Cy Chapman starts on rink mast, and that's probably the two guys you're going to look at early if Bradley is going to get the offense going. So interesting to see. That's how Illinois State's going to start the matchups.
Freeman's ankle looks pretty good there as he jumped into the passing lane and knocked that pass out of bounds. Sunday night at Redbird Arena, Bradley and Illinois State. Terry Roberts' first shot is a three that rims out, and the Redbirds come away with it. Quickly down the floor, Kendall Lewis.
The traditional confetti throw in the first basket here in Redbird Arena against Bradley. We talked Kendall Lewis in the open. Great job there. Bradley just loses him in transition, and that's something we talked about. If Illinois State can get out and run, get easy baskets, it helps get the offense going.
Nice penetration. Roberts to rink mast, who missed the shot, couldn't get the tip to go either, and it's cleared by Antonio Reeves. Redbirds playing their first home game in 24 days. Been a long time since the fans here have seen Illinois State. Chapman works on Connor Hickman, flipped it up and in, a three-point opportunity.
Right there, Bradley got stuck in a switching defense, and Connor Hickman. Illinois State's coaches feel like Cy Chapman is a mismatch for just about anyone on the floor for Bradley, but especially 6'3", true freshman Connor Hickman. As Cy Chapman, great job with the recognition. He had a guard on him and went right to the basket as opposed to fading away, and will be rewarded with the and one free throw here.
Chapman looks a lot more active. He played in Wednesday's game in Des Moines against Drake, but he only had 1 day of practice in prep of that game. One of those COVID issues for the Redbirds, and now an offensive foul against the Braves. That's going to go against Roberts.
Certainly some juice, and you mentioned, Kurt, the Redbirds haven't been home in quite some time. The best crowd we've seen probably since the Murray State game here in Redbird Arena. The Redbirds giving them something to make noise about early here. As you see, Josiah Strong just does a great job beating Terry Roberts to the spot. An early offensive foul on Roberts, who has been playing extremely well. Great defense by Josiah Strong there.
Strong tried to loft the pass to Chapman, but it's a turnover. Leons comes away with it. Roberts behind a screen from rink mast. He knocks down the three.
And right there, you got a really good look at what Bradley wants to do with rink mast. He's a great passer. That one not a pass, but they're going to run a lot of elbow actions, and not the traditional back to the basket post player so much as rink mast there. Gets the ball in the high post. A handoff to Terry Roberts. Illinois State went under. We'll see if they do it differently, as I'm anticipating the ball going to mast there multiple times in that elbow action Bradley likes to run.
There's the screen from Mast. Roberts keeps it, steps back. Another three rimmed out. Antonio Reeves, Illinois State's leading scorer, is yet relatively full tonight. Guys that did not play in the game in Des Moines. Ryan Schmidt is dressed. Liam McChesney, guys that did not play in the last couple of games, are available tonight for the Redbirds, so we're seeing maybe a full complement from both teams. Cy Chapman off the nice feed from Reeves.
Great pass by Antonio Reeves. Illinois State finding something with that ball screen, as that's now Cy Chapman's second roll to the basket. See if Bradley switches up what they're going to do down there on that end with Cy Chapman.
Roberts passed up the three, gives it to Jason Kent from the corner, and he knocks down the three. Kent has come on real strong for the Braves in the last couple of weeks.
A tremendous one more, and we've seen Terry Roberts get his shot attempts up right there. Unselfishly makes the one more pass. Kent, 57 of 97 shots this year are three-pointers, and so great awareness by Terry Roberts, who leads the Valley and assists right now to pick up his first of the night.
Antonio Reeves with a contested shot. He lost the dribble for a minute, picked it back up. That's his first attempt of the night. His three is missed, and now Hickman penetrates for the Braves. Another open look for three. Roberts. Meeting number 135 between the two teams. The Redbirds have the advantage in the games they've played here against Bradley at Redbird Arena and Horton Fieldhouse. Reeves lost the dribble, looking for help. This is Lewis. Cleared by Mast. We're seeing Howard Fleming in the game for the first time for Illinois State. He wears number 3. He's trying to bounce back from an ankle injury. Roberts may have stepped on the sideline, and he did.
Dan Muller took that 30 that turned into the media after a failed switch on the defensive end, and it seems like some of the Redbirds right now are getting confused on what coverages they're trying to run. Bradley likes to space the floor with all 5 guys, and we've seen several different actions. We talked about the elbow. They've set actual ball screens. They've slipped, and so Illinois State seems to be trying to switch everything right now, and just a miscommunication, and see if Dan Muller shored that up during the timeout.
Lewis works the baseline, tried to flip it up. Leon's got a block. He leads the team in blocks, his first of the night.
Not only leads the team, Kurt, but second in the Valley in block shots. And right there you see why the length of Leon's. He got beat by a step, and Kendall Lewis is not a small wing player, and Leon's right there still able to use his length both on the block shot and now on the offensive rebound here.
Bradley is a terrific rebounding team. Offensive rebound is going to give another look for the offense here. Roberts penetrates, tried to flip it to Mast. Ball's on the floor, and it's Josiah Strong who scrums it out. He's going to work on Leons, and now Chapman trails the play. His 3 is missed. He had his first three-pointer of the year on Wednesday in Des Moines. He's not really a three-point shooter. Leons looking inside the rink. Mast, a nice entry pass.
And you see right there, and Kurt, you mentioned Cy Chapman, not necessarily a three-point shooter. Probably not the shot you want, as that's just an unfamiliar territory for him to be on the floor, and gets beat back by Mast and is out of position for the easy basket. And that's what happens. Bad offense can sometimes lead to bad defense, and that's what happened to Cy Chapman right there.
Jashawn Henry is at the scores table. He'll check in. His first action in about a month. That'll be in the next whistle. Here's Chapman. Lost the dribble. Now it's Strong with 5 on the shot clock. He shoots over Hickman. Offensive rebound from Lewis.
And that right there looks to be the matchup to watch early. Lewis muscles Leons under the basket for the offensive rebound after Leons got one down here and blocked Lewis's layup. And two similar players in build and length and skill set. We'll see if those two continue to go at it on the offensive glass.
Roberts tries to create. He finds Mast. As for his second field goal, he's been on a roll for the Braves, a couple of consecutive 20-point games for Rink Mast coming into this one. And now a steal. Roberts takes it away from Josiah Strong. Kent with a pump fake. Now it's Hickman from the corner. His 3 is missed, and it's off of Cy Chapman and out of bounds. The Braves will get it back.
And right now, Kurt, we talked in the keys about the rebounding, and Bradley is crashing the offensive glass. They have 3 already, and that one not going to go as an offensive rebound, but off of Cy Chapman. And so right now, 4 extra possessions in the first 7 minutes for Bradley. And we talked about the Cy Chapman conditioning issues after a non-COVID illness, and he heads to the bench, but Mast just moving him around, and unfortunately just not ready to play off the bench are Jai and Sissoko, and Leon slips in, and a quick foul on Haruna Sissoko.
So Sissoko is in, Abdu Jai is in for Illinois State. Jashawn Henry, his first appearance in about a month for the Braves, he's in. So is Vili Tavanainen. That's him with the 3, and it's out of bounds. Mikey Howell also in the game for the first time. So both teams making substitutions at that last whistle. Different units on the floor.
And another breakdown there, strangely enough, by the Redbirds on the inbounds. And Tavainen looked like he washed his hands on his jersey afterwards, maybe some sweat as he let that one go about 3 feet short, but a wide open step-in three-pointer off an inbounds play. And so not the defense that Illinois State needs to be playing to contest shots here against the Braves in the early going.
Here's Henry. Now Mikey Howell. Guarded by Freeman. Kent's going to try another three, and he knocked that one down. Jason Kent has a couple of threes. The Braves have shot the three well here. Last year, their game here at Redbird Arena, they didn't hit a three until the second half. Not the case tonight.
And unfortunately, more of the same from Illinois State as ninth in the Valley in three-point defense and offensive rebounding. And right now, strength on strength, Bradley is doing what they would like and executing and knocking down shots and taking advantage of two Redbird weaknesses in the perimeter defense and offensive rebounding.
Now it's Tavanainen with another three look. Long rebound to Abdu-Jai. Quickly up the floor. Reeves works on Henry, takes it to the rim, can't finish though. Redbirds are the highest scoring team in the Valley. Held to 9 points, though, in the first nearly 9 minutes. Difficult shot scooped in by Mikey Howell. He's the grad school student. The San Diego native comes to Bradley from Cal San Diego. The Braves have doubled up Illinois State.
And far more of a passer, usually. Averaged 6 assists a game at San Diego, like you said, Kurt. As Reeves gets on the board, you'd have to think the guy who scored in double figures every game this season for the Redbirds was going to get it going early.
First points of the night for Antonio Reeves, averaging just over 20 for the Redbirds. Tavanainen thought about the three. Now it's Leons. He thought about the three too, but it was Fleming who came over and had him think otherwise. 5 on the shot clock. Another three is drained in. Mikey Howell off the bench. 5 quick points for him. Braves are shooting it at 50% here on the road. 8 of their first 16. Fleming is fouled as he penetrated.
You said, Kurt. Bradley just starting to stretch it out a little bit early as Fleming cuts it in to single digits. We'll see if Illinois State can't get the game into more of their strength as opposed to Bradley's.
Zeke Montgomery, a freshman from Louisville, Kentucky, is checked in for Bradley. His first appearance tonight. And Fleming splits the free throws.
First look at a press here from Illinois State is we'll see if they drop back into that 2-3 zone or if they're going to go back to the man, and it looks like they are going to test the zone out here. And so far that ball screen offense really hurting the Redbirds, and right there
that's Tavanainen. Yeah, Tavanainen got a nice feed there from Roberts.
He did. Bradley, it looked like he got away with a little stutter step as Chapman seemed to alter it, but right now Illinois State switches the defense and still gives up an easy one.
Tavanainen's first basket of the night. Here's Josiah Strong trying to slip a pass, and Tavanainen picked up the foul. That'll be the first foul against Ville Tavanainen, and the 4th team foul against the Braves. Chapman to Fleming, looking inside to Lewis. But instead, they keep it at the perimeter.
You get the sense right now, when we talked about the shutdowns and the postponements, and the Illinois State coaches talked about how with that the lack of practice time with everyone healthy, they've struggled to find a rhythm, and you get that feeling right now on the offensive end with the Redbirds is another offensive rebound here by the Braves.
And a great feed from Howell to Tavanainen, who's working the baseline. Mikey Howell off the Bradley bench has been outstanding here in the first half. Strong tries to create. Now it's Reeves. Dribbled it off his knee. 10 on the shot clock. Lewis backs in on Roberts, draws a double team. Now it's Fleming for 3. That's in.
That was a really big shot by Howard Fleming. He hasn't played since December 21st, his first shot attempt, and the offense for the Redbirds was stagnant there. A lot of standing around individual play, and Howard Fleming bails him out with a late clock three-pointer. We'll see if that can't turn the momentum. It's going to have to be something here for Illinois State if they're going to cut into this Bradley lead.
Difficult move by Roberts on the baseline, and he flipped it in as the shot clock was winding down. And Terry Roberts with an 8-point opening half.
And right now, Illinois State is finding it hard.
6'11" junior. Where's number 50? So the Redbirds have Schmidt, Lewis, Washington, Freeman, and Strong on the floor. Leons, Mast, Roberts, Kent are on the floor, and Connor Hickman are the 5 on the floor for the Braves. Kent, fadeaway. Freeman all the way down, lost the ball. Braves have a 4-on-1. Leons fouled, and an opportunity for a 3-point play. Malavai trying to double up Illinois State here, but the free throw is missed.
Illinois State with the same lineup out of the timeout. They went to a high-low to Ryan Schmidt. Right now, nothing really on the offensive end working for the Redbirds. Bradley doing a great job pressuring the ball, keeping it 25 feet plus out as Illinois State has settled for several mid-range jump shots, as you see another one here from Mark Freeman, and just kind of not able to get anything going right now on the offensive end, Kurt.
Now Roberts behind another screen in his third 3-point make of the opening half. He's in double figures now with 11 points.
And Illinois State's going to have to do something different as Mark Freeman went under the ball screen there, and Rink Mast has been a mismatch and not necessarily on the box score as he only has 6 points, 2 assists and a rebound, but what he is doing as a screener is really causing problems for the Redbird defense. He sprung Terry Roberts, all 3 of Roberts' 3-pointers off of ball screens so far.
Now a deep 3 from Roberts, and that goes in. A heat check. Points, 10 boards and 7 assists. And he might be on pace for a triple-double here tonight if he keeps this up.
And so far, in our first look at Terry Roberts, he's one of those guys who's always around the basketball. It seems to find him, and that is what happens when you have good basketball players with good IQs, is they tend to evaluate the game and what is going to happen, and Terry Roberts finds himself right now in the action a lot.
Rebound bucket for Cy Chapman breaks a 2.5-minute scoreless drought for the Redbirds. Chapman is Illinois State's leading scorer. He has 7.
Reeves now with the Roberts assignment, and Fleming in the game, and see if some length can give him some issues as Mark Freeman and Josiah Strong have yet to slow down Terry Roberts. They're going to go with a longer guard and see if that does anything.
Henry lost the ball out of bounds, so that's a turnover. That's the 5th for the Braves here in the opening half.
So right now with just under 6, down 18, Illinois State not going to get it all back here, but kind of a reset here in the last 5:30 if Strong can get this to go. And now you've got an opportunity here to try to get back into it. And like I just said, you're not going to win the game here, but certainly if you can get it to single digits, you feel pretty good about where things are given how you've played so far if you're Dan Muller's Redbirds.
Fleming. There's going to be a foul on Connor Hickman.
So we've got a 16-point game with 5:10 left here. We'll see what Illinois State is able to do. Bradley, 5 of their last 7 from the floor, a few stops, a few baskets, and Illinois State can start to breathe a little bit. You got the sense when it was 35-15 and the quick timeout by Muller after the 3-pointer, maybe things were going to start slipping away. And so a big opportunity here for Illinois State to try to get this to single digits before the half.
Lewis tries a 3. He knocked down 4 3-pointers against Drake on Wednesday night. Montgomery's going to try a 3. That is in. Boy, the Braves are comfortable at the 3-point line here tonight.
And not to sound like a broken record, it's the ball screen defense again. Cy Chapman caught standing there and wasn't sure if it was a switch, a hedge, if they were going to go under, if they were going to shade it. And Zeke Montgomery walks into a 3-pointer.
Difficult shot high off the window for Antonio Reeves, a little runner off the glass. Bradley is 8 of 16 from beyond the arc here in the opening half. Liam McChesney has taken off his warm-ups, and he's at the scorer's table to check in for the Redbirds. Montgomery's going to try another three. Rebound goes to Henry. Now Leon's, his three is missed. Fleming is fouled as he tried to penetrate. And we've got a timeout on the floor. 3:31 to go here, opening half. Bradley 38, Illinois State 21.
Illinois State University.
Bradley leads Illinois State on the scoreboard and in the rebounding column, a 19-11 advantage on the glass in their win over Evansville on Wednesday. They out-rebounded the Aces 47-26. And the Braves have only been out-rebounded 5 times this year. They're the leader in the league in rebounding, and they're showing why here tonight. You get those second chance opportunities, and that really makes your offense better.
And a lot of that largely without Deshaun Henry, who has good size, but the addition of Malave Leons has been a huge one for Bradley in the rebounding department. His length, we talked about it with Lewis, but when you put Jason Kent, Malave Leons, and Rink Mast out there, you have good size, and even Mikey Howell for a point guard. And so it's a good size rebounding lineup as well. The physicality Bradley plays with does a lot for them on that rebounding stat.
Again, Mark Freeman, Illinois State's point guard, playing in his first game since suffering an ankle injury in Illinois State's loss at Wisconsin a couple of days after Christmas. Seeing his first action since. That's him penetrating. He lost his footing and lost the basketball, which was just thrown to the ceiling as the shot clock was winding down. Shot clock violation against Illinois State.
And those are the frustrating ones, I think, for Redbird fans, as you get a dead ball timeout and an opportunity to drop a play and come out and get a shot clock violation. We've talked about cutting into the lead, and instead of coming out with something designed, Mark Freeman loses the footing, but Chesney throws one up in a shot clock violation, and Bradley has an opportunity to turn this into a 20-point lead potentially.
Foul is going to be on Strong as he was down there with the big-bodied Rink Mast. Bradley shooting it at 54% here in the first half. They look very comfortable, especially from beyond the arc. It's been a good opening half for the Braves and a rough one for the Redbirds, who are trying to turn things around in the final 3 minutes of this half. And there's a steal from Antonio Reeves, who was then fouled by Kent.
Good read by Antonio Reeves as Mark Freeman closed the gap on what Bradley was trying to do, throwing it to the top of the key and forced the lob, and the length of Antonio Reeves tips it, gets hit and goes to the line. And we'll see again if Illinois State can get it to 15 here with 2:57, has the opportunity to attempt to cut this to single digits before the half. But Illinois State this year 3-7 when trailing at the half, and certainly right now looks to be headed that direction and try to reverse that trend at least a little bit.
Redbirds in the bonus here for the final 3 minutes of this first half, trying to make some hay maybe from the foul line. Reeves, Illinois State's leading scorer, has 6 points. Again, he averages 20 a game.
So here's your first look at another ball screen coverage where they decide to what's called blitz, and they double the ball screen there instead of switching it. And unfortunately, Abdu Jai got beat, turned the corner. Terry Roberts found a shooter in the corner. Leons couldn't get it to go, though, and so at least Illinois State trying something different there. As we've talked about, you're going to see a lot of ball screens. Had a little bit of success there. We'll see if they continue to try to blitz it when Terry Roberts come off the ball screen.
Rink Mast left open for three. Long rebound to Tavanainen.
Bradley has now missed 15 shots in the half and offensive rebounded 6 of those, not counting the one that went out of bounds. And there they again double the ball screen, and just lazy defense by the Redbirds on the backside of it. And that's what you can't happen, is when you have a mismatch right there. Bradley did exactly what they needed to do. Terry Roberts pulls the double team out to half court, finds the high post, gets numbers, and it's a 3-on-2, and Bradley knows how to execute that as well as anyone there for the dunk.
Leons has not made a three-point shot. He's a good three-point shooter, but he surely can dunk it when you're uncontested there. And now the Redbirds are going to get back to the free throw line off the missed shot and an offensive rebound. That fouls on Terry Roberts. So it's Liam McChesney, who did not play in the game against Drake. In fact, he hasn't scored in nearly a month. He has not scored since the Redbird win here at Redbird Arena against Texas San Antonio. Sophomore from British Columbia.
Interesting so far for the Redbirds is typically we've talked about kind of getting out of your rhythm. At this point in the year, your rotation is usually solidified, and instead Dan Muller has played 11 different players tonight in the first half who have all played multiple minutes. And so in search of something to try to get it to click on either end of the floor, offensively or defensively, and yet to find exactly the recipe he's looking for with the 5 on the floor who are going to have success.
Seven to shoot. Howell works on Cy Chapman. Chapman may have got a piece of that one. Now it's Strong behind the screen from Chapman. McChesney off the fake. Now Strong. His pass is cleaned up by McChesney. 15 on the shot clock, and Connor Hickman just tackled Antonio Reeves. Brian Wardle not happy at all with Malavi Leons. Had a couple of words with him there.
Leon's just a little soft to the basketball and looked like he kind of started to head to the other end before he secured it. And a great play by Liam McChesney to tip the ball to himself around the head of Leon's. And what looked like a sure layup before Liam McChesney got his hands on it turns into 2 free throws for Reeves. Credit to McChesney for the effort play there.
Get another look at that sequence. The end of it there, the foul that's sending Reeves to the foul line. 13th in the scoring in the country with his 20.8 points per game scoring average. It's been tough sledding here tonight, but he's making some hay at the free throw line. He now has 8 points.
And that's partly why Brian Wardle is upset. As a scorer like Antonio Reeves sometimes just needs to see the ball go in the basket, and giving him 2 easy free throws. He's had to work extremely hard for everything he's gotten so far. 0 for 2 from the three-point line. But really easy when you get to stand at the free throw line, and that's why Brian Wardle was upset.
Well, the Redbirds have an opportunity to hold for the final shot if they want to do it. Redbirds trying to carve into this 14-point Bradley lead. The Braves have really controlled this one from about the 2-minute mark of the game. Corner 3, Howard Fleming. Couldn't get it. Got an open, and Fleming gets the nod. And Bradley sends its original starting 5 out with Roberts, Hickman, Leons, Kent, and Rick Mast. First possession, second half. Chapman. Nice jump shot over Rink Mast.
And a really good first possession for Illinois State there to move the ball side to side, and that's one of the problems with the Redbird offense is the ball tends to stick a little bit, doesn't go side to side and make the defense work, and there they reverse the floor, get a post touch for Cy Chapman. An early bucket, an early stop, and a run out.
And Fleming is going to get to the free throw line. He drew contact there on Malavi Leons.
Great job by the Redbirds getting out in transition, pitching it ahead, and right there you almost wish Howard Fleming with his size just goes straight to the rim and finishes, and potential for an and one to play through contact as opposed to going to the reverse layup and looking for the contact. But either way, Fleming to the line, and Illinois State has the potential here to cut it to a 10-point lead for the first time in a long time.
Again, Fleming missed 2 of the last 3 games for the Redbirds with his own ankle injury. There you see the contact under the basket.
And it looked like Leon's almost was going to concede the basket to Fleming there and give up the layup, and instead ends up with a foul. Fleming misses the first, but like I said, that was one where Howard could have potentially just gotten to the backboard and finished, as Leon's looked like he was willing to not give up the foul and concede the layup.
Now it's Kent left open from beyond the arc. Strong tries to create. This is Reeves now. Fleming again. Open from the corner is Lewis. Roberts behind a screen from Mass, now lobs it for Rink Mass, who can't finish. Now it's Reeves, penetrate and kick. Josiah Strong, open 3, that's in.
Really good one more by Howard Fleming, and a good push ahead by Antonio Reeves, and that's Josiah Strong's first really good look at a three-pointer. He shot the ball extremely well so far this year. 8th in the NCAA in three-point percentage, but has been trying to force it tonight, and that's his first one where he was more of a spot-up shooter. Great look by Howard Fleming, and Illinois State has cut it to a single-digit lead here.
Fleming's going to pick up the foul, that three-point make, the first of the night for Josiah Strong. Now Bradley was slow to start the first half, about 90 seconds or 2 minutes in before they scored, and here they are 2 minutes into this one, still looking for their first basket of the second half.
The crowd looking to get back involved for Illinois State, and right there they wanted to travel on Terry Roberts, but starting the half about as good as you can if you're the Redbirds to try to get the crowd back involved, active and energetic if you're going to make a comeback here.
So the Braves turn it over with Leons there, and so now Illinois State with another opportunity with a basketball. Lewis to Chapman now. He's going to work on Rink Mast. Fake left, shoot right. Missed it. Fleming, the offensive rebound for Illinois State. He feeds it to Strong, who can't finish. Now in transition, Hickman. Kent on Fleming. Contact, blocking foul on Illinois State. Chapman came over to help. And Cy Chapman is still down, as is Jason Kent. That was a big-time collision.
Will be interesting to see who got the worst of it here. Chapman up. He was rubbing the back of his head. Can't quite see what Jason Kent has maybe lost his wind or got hit in the ribs, and that was a hard fall for both players.
Kent trying to stand up straight now. Jason Kent has really come on strong for the Braves recently, averaging 10 points per game in the last 9. He's going to stay in the game, it looks like, and make his way to the free throw line, but Deshaun Henry re-enters the game. And again, Henry has missed about a month of action with a concussion. This is the first game for which he has been cleared. And so Henry, the junior from Saskatchewan, out since December the 18th. And the Braves are 6-15 in his career when he's not playing. So, you know, sometimes when they say who's the most valuable player, they take a look at your win-loss record. He's pretty valuable for the Braves.
Yeah, 1-13 in Valley play without Deshaun Henry. And so one of those guys who seems to do a little bit of everything for the Redbirds, and like you mentioned, Kurt, happy to have him back, even like you mentioned, in limited minutes. But right now, this is his 8th minute on the floor, and Bradley up 9, looking to flip the script on that 1-13 without Jashawn Henry on the floor.
Fleming with a nice spin move on Kent, and Jason Kent is going to be whistled for the foul. So Fleming now very aggressive in a couple of drives to the basket.
The switch at halftime right now has been more Howard Fleming, less Mark Freeman, and you wonder if it's more of a length or a size thing on the defensive end, but Howard Fleming active on offense, I mentioned earlier, hasn't played since December 21st, and so just like Jashawn Henry, if you're the head coach, Brian Wardle, you're Dan Miller, you're happy to have your guys back, and Howard Fleming in the one game he did play was Valpo with 7 turnovers, and so we talked about rhythm and we talked about finding rotation. Howard Fleming here missed his last 3 free throws. Just one of those things where getting his legs back under him, hasn't really played a competitive basketball game, but like you mentioned, Kurt, been very aggressive here to start the half for the Redbird offense.
Yeah, Howard now 2 of 6 from the free throw line. It's an 8-point Bradley lead. This is rink masked. And that's Bradley's first points of the second half. He makes a 3. The Braves had gone better than 3 minutes without a point here in the second half, but Mast knocks down a 3.
Mast a 27% three-point shooter on the year, but shooting 43% from the three-point line over his last 5, and that was again that ball screen offense that Bradley likes to run, and Mast usually a roller. Noticed he had the slower Schmidt on him, popped for a three-pointer, and has been shooting it really well as Fleming right there, the main source of the Redbird offense this half, really keeping the Redbirds in it so far in the second half.
Very aggressive start to the half for Howard Fleming. Roberts being guarded now by Kendall Lewis, who may have got a piece of that. Mast saves it. Never touched the rim, so the shot clock continues to run. 9 on the clock. Henry's shot was blocked. Ryan Schmidt came over and spotted it. Now it's Schmidt on the offensive end, but he can't get it, but he got a foul.
Struggling to compete in some games in Indiana State as well. Bradley has the potential here if they get a win to get to 3-3 and could look at climbing the Valley standings there as the upcoming schedule not as challenging as it could be.
Ryan Schmidt splits those free throws. McChesney tried to save it, but it's Henry that comes away with it for the Braves, who have the basketball now. It's an 8-point Bradley lead. Again, the lead for the Braves, 14 at the half.
And in the early going for Bradley, it was a three-point shooting, and now at 9 for 24, they've cooled off significantly. Illinois State seems to have found something that's worked on the perimeter, and right now it's putting Kendall Lewis on Terry Roberts and using some of that size that we talked about in the open, and Kendall Lewis making an impact on the defensive end as Roberts stuck at 14 points and has been here for some time now.
Redbirds get another turnover, try to capitalize. Reeves the miss, Schmidt the offensive rebound. He's given Illinois State a nice lift off the bench here. Now Reeves penetrates again in traffic, flip that up and in! Again on Wednesday, it's just one of those, when you reschedule games because of some of those cancellations, this is what's going to happen. You might have a stretch where you look like an NBA schedule.
You're right, and we talked about lack of rhythm and trying to find some type of continuity, and Illinois State will certainly have the opportunity. And as a player, you almost prefer that because you'd rather find your rhythm playing basketball games than in multiple practices.
McChesney is fouled on the lob. Liam McChesney was the one that kept the missed free throw alive, an offensive rebound, and now he's going to be rewarded by going to the foul line as the Redbirds try to lob to the big fella.
And right now, contributions for Illinois State coming from guys that certainly you wouldn't expect. Ryan Schmidt has provided a lift. Liam McChesney has played well, and the majority of this run has come with Cy Chapman on the bench. Mark Freeman yet to check in the second half, and McChesney misses the free throw. Illinois State giving back some opportunities as they've now missed 4 free throws this half, but certainly from an energy standpoint, doing everything they need to make a comeback. They're beating Bradley to loose balls. They're getting offensive rebounds. They're doing all the things that Bradley was doing really well in the first half and holding Bradley to 1 for 6 shooting here to start the second half, and that is the recipe for why Illinois State here on the McChesney free throw has cut the lead to 5.
And Mikey Howell with the basketball now. He was instrumental in Bradley's big run in the first half. Tavanainen Missed, and it's cleared by McChesney. In and out of his hands, though. I think he was trying to flip the ball to Reeves, but he threw it away. That's a costly turnover for the Redbirds.
And this is going to be a very big possession. 43-38, 14-35. Illinois State got the stop they wanted and had the potential to cut it to a one-possession game, and McChesney loses the ball. And so can they respond? And we'll see if the Illinois State defense here answers the bell and gets another stop, or if Bradley can take advantage of the McChesney miscue.
Howard Fleming near steal. He tipped that away from Jason Kent. You've mentioned on several occasions, Sean, the length of Howard Fleming makes him such an excellent defender, and he got a near steal there.
You're right, and it looks like that's kind of the recipe that Dan Muller's going to use, at least for the first 5.5 years. They've gone to the Schmidt, McChesney, Fleming, Lewis, Reeves lineup, and like we mentioned, no Mark Freeman, no Josiah Strong right now, trying to use their length to give Bradley problems. And another one from Fleming there.
Mast is fouled. His first attempt was blocked. His second attempt, he drew contact, so Rink Mast to the free throw line. Dan Muller not happy. Crowd not seeing that one that way either, but it'll be Rink Mast to the free throw line.
And we'll see if we have a better angle from our side. Fleming definitely got the first one clean, and it looked like Rink Mast did a good job going straight back up, and they called Fleming with the body on the second one.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, he's not shooting. They just gave him the ball out of bounds. So here's Howell now, gives it up. Tavanainen's look for three is missed again, and it's going to be a foul on the floor against Illinois State.
And another one that could be deflating. We'll see how Illinois State responds, but yet another stop. But can't get it done as a foul on the box out. And Tavainen really struggling right now, 0 for 6 from the three-point line. 74 of his 98 attempts this year from the three-point line. He had 14 against Northern Iowa. He had 13 against Missouri State, but right now struggling to get it going from the arc, and that's been to the Redbirds' benefit as he's missed some open ones, 2 here in this half.
Now Mast goes one-on-one with Chapman. This is Howell, 6 on the shot clock. Mast spins and scores. That's Bradley's second field goal of the second half, 6 minutes in. The Braves have only 2 field goals here in the second half, so the Redbirds' defense has certainly picked up a little bit here. Chesney backs in on Kent. Little half hook goes down. Nice move.
Good to see Liam McChesney, if you're Dan Muller and the Redbirds coaching staff, have some success here in this half. They feel like he has the pieces to put it together, and we haven't seen Liam McChesney with his back to the basket much, but they're a very capable post move, the right-hand finish. And another stop for Illinois State here as they continue to push the pace.
Kent had a good look. Strong had a good look. Neither would go down. Howell works baseline, slips it to Hickman.
Mikey Howell is about as good of a passer as we have seen this year, as right there, he almost sent Connor Hickman on the cut. 4 assists now in only 11 minutes played, and right there, like I said, he kind of led Hickman to it, saw Reeves standing flat-footed, threw the bounce pass on the move, and a really good find for an easy layup for Connor Hickman.
Kendall Lewis, a 3-ball. That's his first 3 of the night.
That was really made by Josiah Strong, and Josiah Strong, a very capable shooter who last year shot 37% from 3, this year 48, and largely it's because he's passing up the bad ones, and right there.
Antonio Reeves, a 3-ball, and suddenly this is a 1-point game.
And just as I was saying, is passing up the good ones to get great ones. Josiah Strong.
Ball game.
We do in Illinois State, 4 of their last 5 from the floor. Bradley struggling, 3 of 13 this half. We'll see what they get out of a call timeout, try to calm things down and take the crowd out of it a little bit here, as the stop gives Illinois State a chance to take the lead.
Lewis is going to be whistled for the foul on Jashawn Henry.
Redbird foul charge number 22, Kendall Lewis. His first personal, 5th team foul. Possession out of bounds to the Braves.
Henry working on side. Chapman flipped up a shot, no good, but tipped out of bounds by the Redbirds, so Bradley maintains possession. Howell, Leons, Hickman, Henry, and Roberts are the 5 on the floor for Bradley. Lewis, Strong, Chapman, Reeves, and Fleming are the 5 for Illinois State. The officials may want to see who that ball was off of.
Wondering if we're looking if the ball hit the rim. Henry kind of shot an awkward scoop layup as he was pivoting, and we're either looking at if the ball went offside Chapman's hand or if we're getting a reset on the shot clock here. From our angle, it looked like Chapman got his hand on it.
The shot clock is at 20. Bradley basketball, front of the basket. Flip it out now to Roberts. This is Hickman working the baseline. Flips it into Henry. Had a shot blocked, got it back. Pump fake, put it up, put it in. His first points of the night, first points in about a month.
Great second effort there as Kendall Lewis blocked the first one. And you're okay with that if you're Illinois State as Cy Chapman loses position. And that's why you see Bradley 1-13 in the Valley without Jashawn Henry. He's one of those guys who makes winning plays. And right there, a second effort bucket, a steal, and now in the paint, can't finish. Looks like he took a shot in the eye as he's slow to get back down the floor. Redbirds have numbers. And will pull it out and set up their half-court offense as Dan Muller calls for a set here.
Chapman now, this is Strong with 10 on the shot clock. Skip pass to Howard Fleming Jr., 6 to shoot. To the paint, scoop shot up and in, difficult shot, Howard Fleming.
Right now, just based on energy, 10-28 in the game with a 1-point lead. You get the sense that this is Illinois State's game for the taking as Bradley has slowed things down considerably on offense.
Josiah Strong and the Redbirds in front after the 3-ball from Strong. The Redbirds have outscored the Braves 25-9 in the first 10 minutes of the second half. Roberts tried to slip the ball to Jashawn Henry, and Cy Chapman came away with it, but he threw it right at Dan Muller.
And Dan Muller has seen enough from Cy Chapman right now as those two have had their issues with Cy Chapman's performances. You remember, he didn't play the end of the Eastern Michigan game in overtime. Muller went right to Schmidt on the turnover. Right now, this year for the Redbird team, in big moments, it's been Josiah Strong. It feels like right now every big shot, every big moment, every momentum swing has kind of been Josiah Strong's moment, and a huge three-pointer from the corner there. As Illinois State has done a great job this half getting out in transition, and that's more their game. They want to score, they want to run, and the last three-pointers for Illinois State have come because they've had numbers running the floor and throwing it ahead.
Roberts' missed shot is controlled by Illinois State. The ball was free, and it was Fleming who came away with it. The Redbirds are winning some of these 50-50 balls now. Fleming down the lane, had a shot blocked, got it back. Reeves tries to create, step back. Antonio Reeves missed the three. Leons tried to connect with Mast, but he couldn't.
And right there you're seeing Ryan Schmidt on the camera because of the effort. And right there he was making Rink Mast work, pushed him out to about 8 feet as opposed to catching on the block. And Leon's used to having Mast way lower in position, and Schmidt did a great job pushing him out, which led to the turnover. Ryan Schmidt has provided some really big minutes here in the second half, as has Howard Fleming, as we've seen less of Cy Chapman and Mark Freeman during Illinois State's run.
Reeves had a shot blocked. It was Terry Roberts who swatted it away. No doubt that Fleming and McChesney and Ryan Schmidt off that Illinois State bench have played well here tonight.
And there are very few advantages to the COVID shutdown situation and the postponements, but one of those for Illinois State is those guys were getting more minutes, and Ryan Schmidt played 28 minutes at Wisconsin, and guys that you wouldn't necessarily expect to contribute. Maybe Dan Muller has found something. As we mentioned, he's played 11 guys tonight.
A bailout three. The shot clock was expiring, and Reeves buries a three.
That is individual skill, and Antonio Reeves has it in bunches, and right there, late shot clock offense. He clears everyone out, step back three-pointer, and Reeves has added that to his game, and it's becoming a consistent shot of his as more really good defense from Liam McChesney and Ryan Schmidt inside.
The 10th Bradley turnover off the steal. Strong and Reeves, two-man game here. Under 8 minutes to play. 6 on the shot clock. Reeves trying to create another step back. Roberts tried to slip it down to Rink Mast, and it was the long arms again of Kendall Lewis. You pointed that out. When Lewis switched out, his length has bothered Terry Roberts.
And Illinois State has gone away from switching that ball screen, and we talked earlier, they were switching everything on the floor and just losing matchups, and Dan Muller has found a 5 that he's comfortable, and really it starts, like you mentioned, Kurt, with Kendall Lewis taking away what Terry Roberts was having success with early as Illinois State continues to find success with Antonio Reeves into the line on that easy foul that he picked up. We talked about how sometimes someone just needs to see the ball go into the basket, and after those 2 free throws, Reeves 4 of 5 from the three-point line as Ryan Schmidt takes away Rink Mast again.
Cannot understate what he's brought to the table. Talking about Ryan Schmidt. McChesney tried to save that one. A nice created move on the baseline, but Reeves couldn't get it to go. But yeah, certainly Schmidt and McChesney off that Redbird bench have given Illinois State a big-time lift.
Liam McChesney has played 11 minutes the month of January.
Really nice move there by Rink Mast.
And so has Ryan Schmidt, and so it's hard to even put into words. Going from almost no action, both missed a game and played 11 minutes this month, to jumping into guarding Rink Mast and Malave Leons and doing more than a good job so far on those two.
6 on the shot clock. Here's Reeves now with it. Kendall Lewis, foul line jumper. McChesney tried to keep it alive. He did. Lewis came away with it.
Another extra possession for the Redbirds, and right now Liam McChesney again keeping the ball alive. Probably the 3rd extra possession he has afforded the Redbirds this half.
Schmidt backs in on Mast, but he couldn't make the shot. Now it's Howell back in the front court. We've got a whistle and a foul against Illinois State.
The question right now for Brian Wardle is, where is the offense going to come from? And early, they were exploiting the Redbird defense that was switching, and since the Redbirds made the adjustment this half to guarding the ball screens differently, it's been a struggle for Bradley to get really anything going offensively in the second half. 5 turnovers in the last 6 minutes, the length of Illinois State really bothering the Braves at all 5 positions.
Tavanainen had his pocket picked. Cy Chapman came away with it, and it was again the length of Fleming that knocked that ball away from Tavanainen.
And the biggest, I think, takeaway right now is that Illinois State is proving they can get contributions from a lot of guys in a lot of ways. And I think we've talked about it, Kurt, but everyone knows the big 3 for the Redbirds are going to score. Reeves, Strong, and Chapman are kind of your go-tos on the offensive end of the floor, and so if you're two of the other guys on the floor, how do you contribute? And right now we've seen McChesney, Schmidt, and Fleming do it defensively, offensive rebounding, effort plays, and that's how you get a good team, when you have three guys who can score and the two other ones are supplementing them with winning plays.
Leons clears the missed shot by Chapman. Down to the front court. Slipped the pass down to Mast, who's fouled, and Rink Mast to the free throw line. Fleming got him on the arm. And that's the fourth foul now on Fleming.
We'll see who gets him here. And Cy Chapman attempts to take a charge. Howard Fleming just a step late as he was sprinting back, and he made the face like, I almost had that one. And we've seen the block shots from the Redbird guard, and we've talked about his length. 1 tonight, 4 total for the team as he just missed that one. And right here, under 5 minutes, and Rink Mast has the ability here to cut it to a 4-point lead. And Bradley's been in situations like this before on the other end. They were up 7 with 6 to go against Loyola, up 2 with a minute left against Missouri State, and up 3 with 7 minutes left against Indiana State. And so not really a surprise that Bradley finds themselves in another close conference game here with 4:50 to go in Redbird Arena.
That is Bradley's first made free throw of the night, and it comes with 4:45 to play in the game. Lewis around Mast.
There he was. We mentioned him in the open as the player to watch and getting some secondary scoring. And
Lewis just picked up the foul there, blocking foul on Mikey Howell. He picks up his third. Again, Howard Fleming is on the floor with 4. Dan Muller deciding to just keep him in the game. Howell misses the 1-and-1 front end of it. Redbirds the basketball on a 7-point advantage as we approach 4 minutes left in this one. Reeves again trying to create off the glass and in.
Antonio Reeves has the ball on a string right now and doing whatever he wants to whichever Bradley defender tries to step up, and this time it's Mikey Howell, and Antonio Reeves, a series of moves there, and just too strong for the smaller Howell as he finishes for 6 on the night from the free throw line. 342nd in the country, only shoots 64% as a team as Mast makes both here, and certainly 3 for 8 is not going to help that percentage and not help Bradley win very many games as they've had their opportunities here in the half, just haven't connected from the free throw line.
Mast with 14 points now. He has tied Terry Roberts for team high. Roberts has not scored in the second half.
Terry Roberts actually made the three-pointer to make it 35-15 and has not had a basket since.
Fleming dribbled the ball on the baseline, so it's a turnover against Illinois State.
Line violation will be Bradley basketball. Terry Roberts returns for the Braves.
3:22 on the clock in a 7-point game, and so Bradley has enough time to make a comeback. They don't have to go through anything overly quick, but certainly will be cognizant of what is left on the clock here as they look to make a comeback. And this is a big possession. If you're within 4 or 5 with 3 minutes left, it's a lot more manageable as Mast gets an open look and
he knocks it down. Mast is the guy right now for the Braves.
And now Illinois State. This is a spot where
I mean, this is what college basketball is all about. Nice tight game with fans getting into it. Final 3 minutes of this one.
Illinois State emptied one side of the floor and just ran a simple ball screen, and so it looks like they're content running the clock. As 4 on the clock, Strong ends up with it at about 28
and
feet.
Knocks down a 3.
We said earlier the big moments this season have somewhat belonged to Josiah Strong, and a truly big one there as Mast hits the 3 on one end, but Josiah Strong answers on the other and puts the Redbirds back up 7.
His 4th 3-point make of the night, and now it's Howard Fleming Jr. with a steal. Can he beat Roberts down the floor? Roberts came back to block it. Good hustle by Terry Roberts to swat that one away, but Fleming has really been a thorn in the Braves' side at the perimeter.
And that's what you envision when you have a big guard like Howard Fleming. His line tonight, 9 points, 5 rebounds, 2 of which are offensive, 2 steals, a block, and an assist. And so he's putting numbers into every category. And right there, a humongous steal to keep the lead at 7 and give the Redbirds the opportunity to burn some more clock. Bradley not going to foul yet, and so they're going to try to play it out and get a stop here. And we'll see if it's Reeves or Strong, as it has been most of the half here.
Reeves works behind a screen from Chapman. They double him, and now it's Lewis. Fleming with 5 on the shot clock to the paint. And his pass is stolen away by Roberts. He was looking for Josiah Strong. Now it's Kent, and he travels.
And you almost wonder why Bradley didn't do that earlier. In that defensive sequence, they ran Jason Kent at Antonio Reeves off of Howard Fleming, who 1 of 2 from 3, but 2 of 6 from the free throw line, not necessarily known for his shooting, and right there got the ball to Reeves' hand. And the first time we've really seen Bradley do anything to try to get Reeves or Strong out of their rhythm this half.
They double team Reeves with some pressure, and now Lewis brings the ball across the timeline. "90 seconds to play. Lewis thought about the 3, stepped inside the arc, and knocked down the jumper. Roberts penetrates, he's fouled by Lewis.
Redbird foul charge number 22.
2 free throws now coming for Terry Roberts, held scoreless here in the second half.
Braves are in the double bonus. Terry Roberts at the line.
Dan Muller alerting his team that a trap is coming, and so said don't be surprised. And obviously, time and clock situation, we're going to see some pressure from the Bradley Braves, and with the score at 8 right now, potentially 7, Illinois State has the ability to knock down some free throws and put this one on ice.
First points of the second half now for Roberts as he makes both foul shots. He's got 16 for the game. Howard Fleming is fouled right at the timeline, right at midcourt by Roberts.
Bradley foul charge to 0. Terry Roberts. His 3rd personal. 7 team foul.
It'll be Fleming who will walk down to shoot the free throw. It'll be 1-1. Both teams try to get a quick huddle in here. Brian Wardle with his team and Dan Muller with his. Here's that foul right at the half-court line.
Yep, just a typical press breaker there from Illinois State. The inbounder ran up the middle to beat the trap. Josiah Strong did a great job not catching too close to the baseline, so he wasn't trapped. And right there you saw Terry Roberts and Cy Chapman come together. And so about 8 of the 10 players on the floor got together to have a discussion and separate the two.
Yeah.
And we'll go to the line, and things will continue as normal here.
Nice job by the officials to kind of step in and defuse that situation.
We'll see how quick Bradley goes here with 1:05 on the clock. They do have some sets to run out of made free throws, and anything right now is probably going to be a three-pointer, and a very good offensive rebounding team who's been held to 2 offensive rebounds this half will certainly be crashing the glass hard. But with 7 fouls, Illinois State, with a good box out, has potential to draw and over the back, a push of some sort, and maybe get you back to the free throw line here without having to inbound it against the press if they can get a stop.
Mast another step out 3. Rink Mast missed that one. Roberts in the right place for the right time, and he nearly got a 3-point opportunity, but instead he'll get a couple of free throws. There's that offensive rebound.
With Evansville, 2 of the next 3, Illinois State could build some momentum here, and so credit to the Redbirds for not giving up early when they were down 20 in the first half.
Reeves Gives it up now to Strong, who steps through a double team and gives it back to Reeves. He works the baseline. He flipped it up and in.
The 10th 20-point game of Antonio Reeves this season as Terry Roberts does everything he can to keep Bradley close.
Tavanainen reached in on Reeves. So Reeves, with a very slow start to this one, is now at his scoring average. He's at 20 points. He's actually at 20.8 per game. Again, the 13th top scorer in the country will now walk to the foul line for Illinois State and try and really put the nail in the coffin on this one.
It'd be hard to pinpoint exactly the moment that things really turned. It was 9, it was 7. Illinois State crawled back, and then all of a sudden, Strong and Reeves connecting on some three-pointers, and it really got out of hand for Bradley. But again, it'd be tough to overstate the importance of Liam McChesney, who hasn't played, and plus-minus is certainly not indicative of everything that happened in a game. But with that free throw dropping, Liam McChesney is a plus 15 off the bench for the Redbirds, and so leading the team in that category, he has really contributed in a variety of ways.
Roberts takes it to the rim, so Terry Roberts has scored the Braves' last 2 field goals. And a quick foul, down to 20.2 seconds to go. Roberts picked up the foul, that's his 4th.
And if you're Bradley, just some stuff you need to figure out, and contributions from some guys. Ville Tavainen 0 for 6 from 3, and Malave Leons had scored double figures 6 straight until the last 2, and now tonight 4 points. And so it was the Terry Roberts Rink Mast show, and Bradley, much like we mentioned with the Kendall Lewis, in need of some secondary scoring, and Terry Roberts certainly a handful, Kurt, like we've talked about the first time we've seen him, certainly a lock for the all-newcomer team here in the Valley. He's been very impressive tonight, but as a whole, Illinois State really locked down in the second half, and that should about do it.
Tavanainen stepped on the sideline, and the Redbird faithful are on their feet to salute the Redbirds, who've scored 48 points in the second largest comeback win in school history. The Redbirds erased a 21-point deficit and won a game in